Thanks and praises, wholeness, wholeness. Yes, so in this topic, we are so grateful to share the ashramas, the four stages in the Hindu social system that we have learned. And in these four social systems, it was made by spiritual and practical people that knew that we could not escape our emotions, the material world, you know, so that includes wealth, abundance, family life, and whatnot. Um, yeah, so on the path to death, you know, um, yeah, so in these four stages that we're going to talk about, again, this is from a Hindu um, social system. So we're going to start off with the first one, which is Brahmacharya. It is from ages 0 to 25. This is the apprentice stage. This is the student stage. This is where we are guided, molded, formed. We learn what it means to be human. So being human is not just a physical experience, but a spiritual experience. So you go through spiritual awakening. You go through your rites of passage. You
They also like fuse together the spiritual with the physical, which should even be a thing where you fuse together the spiritual and physical, the spiritual and the material at the same time. But in this current perception, we gotta say it that way in this kind of language, because again, in India, for instance, it's known very early, and it's very already integrated within their like mathematical systems and technology and their social structures already from within their schools a lot as well too. You can see on social media they be meditating, doing yoga, and just accessing different parts of their mind that's already been known. And Western science is now saying, oh, we discovered quantum metaphysics now, and it's already been explained, the universe and black matter, etc., in a lot of these ancient indigenous cultures. And so yeah, just also with health too, with etc., etc., it's already included spiritually with it's already been holistic, and we're just now catching up. And it's like almost like a trend now a lot of time for a lot of people, because it's not part of the actual structure, day-to-day structure of the society around them. It's just a nuclear aspect that understands this concept, and but the outside perimeters of society don't. So usually it's like a tree that has no other tree friends around it, companions around it, and that tree can, if it's not nurtured and nourished properly, will wither away. Yeah, and it's like a tree, that's isolated, would eventually wither away unless it's artificially being nurtured. And it needs other trees around it to be organically nurtured in a way where it creates a proper social climate for that tree and other trees around it to flourish naturally. It can never be just one thing. It's always a group aspect of things, and that's the spirituality, as well too. That's a connection like a hand, with each finger.
yeah, so in Brahmacharya you learn um, emotional regulation. You also learn um, to cultivate life force, because that life force will be used in the next um, stage, right? So you, as we talked about with Hinduism, like from birth until the age of 25, you are learned, you know, um, emotional regulation through breath work, through movement, through dance, through yoga, you know, through your everyday living life. And you're also taught about the many bodies that come with this body as well, right? Um, So that is a part of learning how to be human, is learning about the different bodies, right? That is encompassing as well, because we are, again, not just physical bodies, but spiritual beings, right? Yeah, so that is that one stage. And then after, in order to go to the next stage, you have to graduate that stage of Brahmacharya. And Brahmacharya is not um, a life thing, where you're a student of life forever. No, you have to graduate, you have to mature, you have to ripen, right? And through your rites of passage, right? So now you head on to um, the other stage would be Grihastha.
Grihastha.
Grihastha. Yes, and that is the householder stage, the earth stage. It is the business stage. So basically, like family business, family is not just family, but it is a business, right? And so you have to share a business with each other. It's through marriage, it's through, again, having children, but you don't necessarily have to have children in this stage. It is a sense of responsibility for not just yourself, but for others, and nurturing and nourishing a community um, around you, becoming resourceful by sharing your resources, and you know gaining wealth, um, material wealth, and cultivating a material life, right? Um, with others, Again, it's very important to um, be contributing to the community and society that you are in, right? And with the, yeah, community.
Mhm. And of course, using the tools that one has gained through Brahmacharya, through that. So you gain the sexual discipline,
The
you gain
foundation
innovation, yeah, just go in detail, the
about
tools.
of themselves, right? So now you are now sharing that. Yes, and all of these stages are to be mastered, right? So you master yourself, your sexual control, your emotions, your thoughts, and whatnot. You actually learn about yourself and your nervous system, right? And so every stage, again, has to be mastered in order to move on to the next stage, right? So the next stage from the householder stage is, which one? I forget the name.
Well, what's it called
But
like in
it's pretty
English?
much like the sage, the renunciate. Is
Is
it
it
the
the renunciation? I
renunciate?
feel like that's like, okay, I'm 75, I'm done. I'm
Okay.
done. But it's called like Vipranasa.
Okay. So the householder stage is from 25 to the age of 50, right? And the next stage is
Like
the,
Viprayansa, Viprasana, Sanya, something like that. It'll be in
yeah,
the details
yeah,
below.
yeah, yeah. Right? And this is the sage mode, right? So this is where you give the leadership to the next, to the generation, after, and you teach the generation before, after you, right? Everything that you've learned in householder stage and in the apprentice stage, right? So now you would have an apprentice, you teach them, right? And these are um, usually couples that go out on their own, um, and live together, right? So you graduate having a family, you poured into your family, your community, your business, and now, okay, now it's our time together. And this is actually the time that people say that they get their lives back, right? It's or they truly start their life is at the age of 60. And
Yeah, their life before is for society,
mhm.
now it's for their life. We're kind of you're going back in inwards more.
Yes, you do go inwards, also getting ready to go to the next stage. And this stage is more learning about spirit, and the body, right? And the next stage is getting ready for this stage is from about 50 to 75. Yes. Right, so 50 to 75. And in this stage, you are getting ready to go up the mountains. You are done. Right, so this is the stage where you are getting ready to leave your body. You are getting more into the spirit realm, with the divine. Um, again, getting ready and detaching from this world completely. So you leave your partner, and now this is a journey with just you and the
The
divine.
age 50 to 75. I
Yes.
think it's I think it's still with your partner, but less. It's a
No,
lot.
it's from 75
Oh, we're
to
there now.
the end of your
Okay,
life.
I just called Vanyasa.
Now it's called Sannyasa.
Sanyasa. Okay,
Yeah,
that one you know. I see you
Sannyasa.
ready for Sanyasa. I see you. Yep,
Sannyasa,
we're
yep.
all ready for Sanyasa. And love us too. A little quick side note: we definitely confuse Brahmacharya with Sannyasa. And it's like that's our last stage,
Yes.
but that's the beginning stage. So this Western collective, we're all like, oh, Brahmacharya, we're so woke. That's it. We're done from Brahmacharya. It's like that. That's literally the like kindergarten of the structures, and systems.
Yes, and I do want to say that their society supports all of these stages. So it'll be younger people like seeing the elders, going through the community, and the elders are being supported there, you know, giving food, giving money, giving whatever they need because they respect and honor that they are on the spiritual journey. And you see homeless people nowadays, and it's been perverted in the Western world where they are on a spiritual journey.
Sannyasa gone wrong.
Yes, right. So they were forced into a different stage before even mastering another stage. And remember, the first stage is Brahmacharya, the apprenticeship, where you learn about yourself and how to be human. So that is your foundation, right? And again, you cannot skip the material. What's that called?
Material realm.
The material realm, the earth realm. We are on earth to learn responsibility, commitment, devotion,
Financial intelligence,
financial wealth.
Not saying to get be super duper rich, but just know
it,
choosing the right partner.
Gotta master it. You gotta master it.
Yeah,
So yeah,
and like don't
get wealthy. Get wealthy. Get all right. It's not just about spiritual wealth. It's also about physical wealth.
Material wealth.
Material wealth.
And
yes.
Having material things
Yes.
as well too.
Yes, and mastering that, right? Because you cannot move forward until you have mastered that, right? Um so again, like we will see people on their spiritual journey that again it was forced, or they went through, right? So people go through some type of trauma that pushes them to another stage.
Oh yeah, I got something.
So when others, who want to stay in the Brahmacharya phase, right, and they are now in the household stage and they haven't graduated the first stage, right, they will feel like they are caged in. They are a slave to service and community and children and husbandry. being a husband or a wife or being a mother. Take a load off of you while you go through the stages of life with our enema PDF, link in bio. Send us love donations. We totally appreciate your contributions. We help healers get a load off, release, reset, and regulate your nervous system with our private sessions. Link in bio. Enjoy. Yeah, that is definitely a sign of an unhealthy thoughts and unhealthy mental, construction. It's really destruction, immaturity. Um, yeah, but a sign that someone has not mastered their student life and they are forced into another stage, right? Without guidance or even acknowledgement or recognition of the path that they're on, right? Because there's something within our spirits that awaken. And sometimes, like I will say that maybe like what I've heard from other mothers where they feel like they are mothering their so there are mothers that have to or fathers that have to father their wives and because their partner has not graduated that stage, right? And then that shaky foundation, right? No. So yeah, but regardless, one is in the householder stage, regardless of where you want to be. You are in the stage right now.
Most of our viewers are in Grihastha,
yes,
and yeah, so
right. So just knowing what stage you're in, you don't have to fight yourself constantly. Like you have to respect and honor what stage that you're in order to master this time instead of putting yourself down.
yeah, like resentment or grief or hate and stuff like that, depression,
rage,
just yeah. And it's learning that, okay, right now I'm in this material realm for the next 24 and a half years or whatever it is,
yeah,
and,
however long it is, because sometimes just us societally, like it's not conducive, right? And doing this on your own, it's going to be harder, even more difficult, right? Because it is not flowing. It's not flowing, right?
yeah, like it's not like supported.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Again, people in India, like they feed them, they clothe them, etc., and it's not a blessing to the community to do that. From the gods and whatever, the Most High, to like take care of your elders, and all that, and people with you. So like you're always fed, you're always clothed going into it. There's no like scrambling trying to like like when wanna stay, when wanna eat tomorrow. Like that's not as emphasized in these Eastern societies than it is in the Western societies. As you can see, where people are just like the homelessness rate is just at a high peak, you know, and yeah, it's reversed there, and it's also spiritually supported as well too. Not only materialistically, but spiritually supported as well too. You see you walking down the street. Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, those are the sadhus, whatever whatever it is. Whatever spiritual people they are in that stage. They gonna get some roti and some chickpea chana or whatever it is. Or just So yeah, we gotta create these things for ourselves too.
Yes, it's just beneficial to know that these people right, these different races, like you can see that they have mastered the earth realm, like no problem, right? You can see their businesses, their family businesses, their chains, their franchises, their social economics and whatnot,
They're like
right?
material expressions.
Yes. because generations before them, handed them that knowledge and wisdom that they've gained. you
Mm.
know they've been guided themselves, and they have not been lacking foundation whatsoever. Like, they know themselves based off of the names that they even carry. Like, yeah, they might have some Western name like Tim, or
Oh no,
you
they
know
don't. It's Tim, but when it's like Pragnananda Sankajar Kuli Guli. Whoa, is a song that? What's going on? Like, and yeah.
yes, to remind them of their purpose, right? um yeah, so we want to share this with you, and tell us what stage you're in. Like, what stage are you secretly in? you know
Yeah,
yeah.
at least before this, you know, video, what do you think Brahmacharya was, and what was it? What is it to you now? And yeah, again, like what stage are guys in, and etc. Because
Hmm.
it's important. It's important to know. Definitely adds clarity as well too. Where like, damn, man, I thought I gotta be really going spiritual with it, but nah, you right now we gotta really go materialistic with it.
Hmm.
Of course, with that strong Brahmacharya foundation.
Yes, and be a contribution to our society and to our community, by becoming resourceful, right? Even if it's these videos, these are beautiful resources that we love to share with you guys. And thank you so much for also sharing your resources with us, in exchange. It does not, go lightly. We do appreciate every single one of your resources. Yes, and just know
Definitely.
that it comes tenfold within the community, um, within your household, within your business as well, family business.
Lineage as well too.
Yes, legacy. And yeah, let us know what you think about this video. Like, I think for us, for instance, like, we were definitely going. I feel like sometimes, like, when we do have a hard time, it's usually fighting that spiritual fight, with ourselves, where we're just like, man, I'm in my grandmother, you know take off my clothes, go into the forest, on my ones, be like, yo, I did this.
People are doing that, and like they just gave birth. Like, yeah, I did this. I'm ready to go lead society. It's like, whoa, that's Sannyasa. You're still like Grihastha. You gotta slow down.
Nah, sannyasa is, you're teaching, you're mentoring,
That's the last one, right? The
the
last
last
stage.
one is, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
sannyasa,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
talking about
okay, sorry,
Vipasanya.
yeah.
And like, oh, and a man to the man. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Of course, this Western is called Peter Pan syndrome.
Yes, yes, yes.
And just yeah, like we're all like, wow, yeah, we're gonna be fasting. It's like, no, like your girl just gave birth. You shouldn't be like fasting and trying to meditate. You gotta be like, worry about taking care of her, etc. Of course, and just
Her physical
get a
and spiritual
job.
needs,
Yeah, hold
yes.
a job. Not get a job, but go hold a job for a long time. You gotta take care of these things. Get a car, get a whip, get a watch. I don't know. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Just
Yes, and master it. Have fun mastering these aspects of
yeah,
oneself,
in your own way
you
that
know?
compatible with your Trinity.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes, yes. And right now, it's mastering. It's
The
giving Master Earth.
finances, the finances, the money,
The
the
wealth.
wealth,
The abundance.
the employment, the employments. It's self-employment. It's outside. It's hotel.
Entrepreneurship, again, family business. Like, we see these races, benefiting from family businesses and community
Yeah,
businesses.
these cultural
Like,
societies.
yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, it's brown,
Sorry,
but
I
it's
mean
like
cultural.
there's
Cultural,
Hindi, there's
yes.
Pakistani, there's Punjabi, so
Yes.
whatever, so yeah, and just yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just seeing how
Yeah,
like
like, for instance, right? Like, let's say the students come from abroad, the rent will be cheaper. Of course, it's not like ideal where, like, you're sharing a room with others, um, and complete strangers, but, like, shoot, the rent will be cheaper, so you can afford to do what you need to do and study and whatnot, and, like, Eventually get your private space in Sannyasa,
Wow, that's a long time, but
It's a long
yes, it's a long time.
time, but remember, you're building to be resourceful for and contribute to society, right? And um, yeah, so you know, but for us, we'll be like, I don't know you, like okay, and
Mm,
well, Western people that look like us.
yeah, exactly. Like a lot of us, we're moving like culturally homeless pretty much, like because there's no like land to go to where we all get together and like say okay if you're Hindu, you go to that part of the region of India. It's like for us like it's not established, it's not recognized by the government as well too. There's not like a strong clear name to it and structure and you know what I mean. So
I do also want to say that this is pre-colonial, you know, um, Hindu social
yeah,
norm.
for this example,
Yeah.
and it's still going strong now, of course, and yeah, just so when it comes to contributing to society, if gotta realize to take clear where one society is and add to it. That means create a foundation in general, create a space for other people like us so we can think ahead when we're in sannyasa so we can take care of each other while we're in sannyasa and the kids and all that. Then okay, that's what you do. It's like land ownership and community, these things, and soon it'll be more detailed, like oh, water systems, etc. So is communal. It's not it's not a nuclear thing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, like we have been discouraged, sometimes. We're just like, damn, all this time, like elders, like you knew about this, like put us on, It's like your business ain't my
Yeah,
business.
stingy elders.
Right, and you'll see like they've mastered something, you know
But like
like
it's still
colonizer mentality where they're like taking a lot
younger
from
people.
the youngsters,
Yeah,
and they're still not fed about like life life other than like, man, I'm really trying not to be so obvious, but man, I'll say it.
nah, man, say no
But
names. Man, say no names.
I won't say names,
Man,
but
say no
it's
names.
like, okay, I mastered, you know, being raw,
Yeah,
and
just so what we think Brahmacharya
okay,
is just
yeah.
sexual sperm retention. Yes, of course, and your meditation and eating most highest fruitarian, breatharian, long fasts, etc. And yet, that is true.
Mhm.
Like the Brahma means the all. You learn all of that, and a lot of people they get stuck in certain stages for Brahmacharya. They get stuck there. They're in Grihastha, the household stage, but it's still in Brahmacharya, and they gotta move on. Or they're in Grihastha, they're getting money, they got a car, they got a good business, etc. And it's their time to actually kind of retire and move on and
And share it.
apprentice somebody, you know,
Yes.
that's part of
Yes.
society, but they're still holding on to that and they're just loving it. Some people are really good at certain stages of life, and a lot of times they kind of overindulge in that stage and don't move on to that stage. And of course, and people move on to viprasanya, the stage where after the household stage or
I
something like
feel
that.
like it's not Viprasanya, it's like Pata, like something,
That I don't know.
some
That sound like
we
that sound like
should probably
food.
read it.
That sound like Indian food. Like we're getting a little hungry now.
Okay.
But yeah, and
So basically, the stage where you're supposed to be a mentor, where you're
exactly.
supposed to be the sage,
But they're still being a competitor. You know what I mean? And then people go from the viprasanya, I believe it's called, to the sannyasa.
Yeah.
Stage. Yeah, yeah. Black folks always taking a word, not really know what how to actually pronounce it. Then it turned into some kind of Creole word of it, where it's like now it's chitin. It's like what? It's chicken? No, it's chitin now. So yeah, we learned this Vanaprastha. Vanaprastha. Okay, Vanaprastha. Thank you. We got to Google it. Make sure we got it down. Vanaprastha. And people often stay in Vanaprastha because again they love the teaching at a school, whatever they're doing. It's called per se. They love teaching. They love having like someone under their wing the whole time, and they gotta now go in by themselves and be alone. Going deeper. But each stage, you go deeper into like the woods, the wilderness. The spiritual green screen. You know what I mean? Like just a bush and like a more isolated place per se, or more it's pure nature, and yeah. So it's also a thing too to consider as well too. People getting stuck in like a certain stage. And you got to go back to the Brahmacharya foundation, and they got to learn to have contentment and to release and move on.
Yes, and people who get in the stage of leaving their bodies, wanting to leave their bodies, wanting to leave society, and not learn from or learning to master the physical realm, you know, the earth realm. Again, it is the most spiritual realm, guys. We're literally here on earth, not on wood, like we're supposed to be learning devotion, when our faith is tested, commitment, again, when our faith is tested, responsibility, um, family, you know, building, constructing.
Forgiving our society, forgiving our kin, people we know, that's our people. And
Mm-hmm.
they don't know, we know. And to contribute to the society as well too.
Yes. So with that, we say wholeness.